afternoon, and welcome to Hot Topics. Were we recording? You get on my nerves when you do that. Why do you do that?
Yes, you
like
heard her.
I said, family, welcome to Hot Topics.
Yeah, it'll be edited out. Don't worry about that.
You better edit it because you know I will listen to it. I am here today with my co-host,
Psycho4081.
and we are missing our lovely felonious Feather,
Who's out there gallivanting all up in the streets doing God knows what.
She is celebrating her child's graduation. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Congratulations. Have fun.
And congratulations to all the grads.
Yes.
This year.
And it was a lot of my friends and associates had kids graduating today.
Oh,
not today,
good.
but this,
Right.
last few weeks.
Right.
And it's like, mine is coming up next year.
Oh, is it next year?
Next year, yeah.
Oh my
She'll be 18 this year. Right
Woo.
right after your birthday.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, I'll be an empty nester, so I'll be ready to start the new cycle.
Yeah, no. What is wrong with you? I can't believe that. She was such a little baby when I met you.
Yeah,
Oh my
she's
gosh,
tiny.
I'm getting old.
She's tiny still. But, that's the thing I always think about. Like, I always see the videos, especially if you're on Facebook and they show the
Memories.
Yeah, I just saw my son, graduation day from middle school,
Oh my
and she's sitting up
gosh.
there, So, shout out to Facebook for these memory things, because I like those things.
It's good sometimes. I recently got a memory of one of my best friends that passed away, my goddaughter's mother. And I got a memory of her, and I was just like, oh, I miss her. I really do. So it's hard in some ways, but for the most part, it's good to look at memories.
Let me ask you something. I don't know if we touched on this before, but how do you handle do you handle death easy? Like,
I wouldn't say easy. Like I know that it's a part of life. I know it's going to happen. It doesn't stop you from being sad. I guess I wouldn't say easy, but I handle it better than some. I'm not one of those fall apart people.
or is it conditional?
What do you mean? It
So,
depends on who it is.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
It makes more sense. But, I was thinking about that, because usually I would say some of those things a lot of times don't bother me, but then and I thought about it. I think when it comes to how they interacted with your life, even if they weren't close,
Right.
it's like, I think you miss their presence or something along those lines.
Even some of the clients, like I had a few clients, and you're not supposed to have your favorites
Right.
where you work, but it was a few clients that I really enjoyed. And when one of the ladies passed away, it was a gut punch. It was an absolute gut punch, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really gonna miss her. I missed seeing her, and she was funny and just kind of enjoyed life, but things caught up.
And then there's that part where the realization that you're the elder generation.
Yes.
And it's like, here we are. Just seemed like yesterday I was looking up the great granny or great grandfather now.
Right. And you getting closer to the top of the line. Yep.
That's depressing.
I'm not sure if it's depressing. It's just I don't find that depressing. I'm
I
just
do.
glad that I'm able to be here long enough to tell my cousins, oh, I had my turn. It's your turn. You get to work. So. But when my aunts passed away and my uncle passed away, it was just like, ooh, that's just pushing us higher to the top of the line.
But you have more aunts and uncles.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It was a ton of them.
So I was talking to my mom today, and she was mentioning one of the people that we knew where we grew up. Not where we grew up. When I grew up, my mom was already grown up. But, but she was in a situation where the friend is in a situation where she's the last one.
Oh,
like she's getting there where, she only has
Yeah.
her mom or whatever. And my mom experiences that too. Cause she had, in her household, her tight knit group,
Right.
she had her brother passed away, her sister passed away, her mother, her father,
Ooh,
everybody passed away. So she's the last one except for my uncle,
Right.
which is,
right.
they didn't grow up together. But he is the last one.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not that he's not doing that great either.
Right.
But I think is that realization that, wow, maybe a feeling of loneliness.
That would, that kind of would probably make me sad.
So
that you're the last one. And that's why people are like, I want to live until I'm 100.
I said that.
You did say
no,
that.
I didn't say 100. I said forever.
Yeah, you did.
I'm at 10,000 years.
Yeah. But what happens is everybody you know and love leaves.
Yeah.
So.
That loneliness creeps in. But I think the difference is when you have, like, say you're 1,000 years, 100, well, not say 100 because let's say 1,000 years. You have new cycles.
You will have to.
Yeah,
you will have to.
I mean,
yeah,
you just start that cycle again and then again and again and again and again, like the Highlander. You ever seen the movie?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch the Highlander. I think you would appreciate it. It's kind of old, but
that's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would be okay if you live that long, you won't have memories of the people that you knew.
And that actually that would be worse. Even I think after 1,000 years of living, I want to remember. I want to remember everybody.
People. You think you would?
My family, I think I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would remember my family. I know that like young people when they're young and they get older, they don't remember their mom and stuff like that.
Right,
when mom passed away early. But
young, yeah.
I think as an adult, I think I would. Like now, I remember. I mean, not that I'm that old, but
you old.
I remember everybody, even my great uncle, because I remember him being this tall, dark skinned dude,
right,
with big old afro, a white afro.
Oh wow!
Right?
Now see, he would be hard to not remember.
But my grandmother's, God, was this her husband, boyfriend, or whatever? Mr. Mr. Buster. I don't know, but I remember him like it was yesterday. I could see him sitting on the porch.
Right. No, I could. It's people in my childhood right now that I can't remember because I met one of my friends that that we used to be close to, and she was like, "Don't you remember my brother so and so?" No.
Yeah. All right. So those are the people. Some people I don't remember.
Those like outskirt people. Like no,
you ran across them, a few times, but
yeah.
But family members, I think.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, our family was sizable, but they were spread out and not really close. You didn't see them that often, but I would think about that. But I still take my 1,000 years.
I don't know. If you can be healthy.
That's
that's another thing.
Right.
Like,
I don't want to be a mummy.
Right. You can't move. You can't. I don't know. That's hard. So what do you have today in trending news? Psycho?
So in trending news, the Israeli Hamas war.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of like a taboo to talk about it.
Why? Well, because you got to pick a side, and people get upset about what side you pick.
Well, and I'm not going to pick a side, but just recently they was talking about a ceasefire, right, and right after that they bombed a refugee camp, and then I just heard recently that they bombed another place and killed hundreds of people. The hospitals are overwhelmed. They're asking for,
they need
help.
Everything.
Yeah,
they need
everything. If you see the pictures of the devastation there, like, can you imagine you coming home and like your entire,
and
like
nothing there,
the whole neighborhood
is just gone.
Yeah, that's just devastating. And like I said, I'm not picking a side per se, but I mean, I think this thing is pretty evident that, one, my country, 'tis of thee.
Don't you get on that soapbox again.
But we know what's right and wrong. We know what's and the world can see it.
Yeah.
They sanctioned, or I don't know if it went through the Senate, but I know the House voted to sanction the ICC, the International Criminal Court.
Right.
Like,
right.
If these people decided to say, hey, we're looking at what you're doing and it's genocide, or you're violating all these, then let them, because they wanted to issue a warrant for Netanyahu and some of the other people. I'm like, why do we getting that? Why? Obviously Netanyahu's not going to go to a place that's going to, take him into custody like George Bush didn't do, But it's a blaring hypocrisy that people are seeing, and it's taking our already fragile
relationships.
Yeah, it's going down. And now I do want to say I like Ireland. Ireland, they don't care. They don't. Ireland, I watched the video clips of them in Parliament or whatever, and they go in there and they lay it all on the line. And I think the difference is between Ireland and us. I think they had a country that can relate to, being oppressed, right? So I think they can see that, and also they don't have that powerful influence that we have here in the USA. So that was just one of the things we will have a podcast on that specifically when we can get in depth. We can get more in depth with it.
We're gonna talk about it a lot.
Yeah. And I know it's gonna get some people upset, but you know what?
That's what we're here for.
Exactly. And the truth I can't talk today.
I don't know what's going on.
The truth shall set you free.
Maybe.
And mad. So it's whatever.
War is just horrible all the way
It is.
around, and I just feel bad for the people who are just like, hey, I'm not even in this. I'm just trying to live my life, do the things that I want to do, and I wake up one day and my neighborhood is bombed.
And that's the worst part about it, because there's so many, and a lot of people don't care about politics, even here.
Right,
a lot of people just they don't even want to vote.
Right.
But they care nothing about politics. They don't know anything about politics. They just want to live their life. And then you have, just bombs being dropped on you because those who are in charge have a certain, mission or agenda. Yeah. Right. So that's probably the biggest tragedy. I saw the pictures of the kids.
Yeah.
Starving.
Kids, old people, like, it's just bad. It's bad all the way around.
And then on the U.S. side, so here's this. That is my kitty cat, y'all. So
very vocal.
You wanna get on the mic?
Yeah, she wants to get on the mic.
So, we've been supplying weapons to Ukraine.
Right.
Okay. I'm not against that, because I think, no country should invade another country and feel there's not going to be any repercussions or without cause. Let me say that, without cause.
Right.
So we've been giving them weapons, and we have high tech. We have great weapons. The United States is one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to weaponry. Mm-hmm. We've been in this weaponry and war business for exactly. So it was they were saying something out of Russia. Russia was like, well, maybe we should give your enemy some missiles.
Oh, wow.
Right. And all they have to say is, oh, big bad Russia. Give our enemy, what if they gave missiles to, who's our enemy over the side? Let's see. Let's say if we fell out of graces with Cuba, and that's a fragile relationship now anyway. But they gave them missiles like they did during the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? How would we feel about it? We would be trying to do all types of stuff to them, trying to get everybody on our side. And I think, listen, what applies to other people will eventually apply to you. And, I hate to, sound unpatriotic, but the thing is right. And, you can't expect everybody we've become the big bad empire. We have, and it's just sad because, you want for your country, you want to have you want to be proud of your country.
Right.
You want somebody, if you go someplace, you say, well, I'm American. You want them to say, oh, you're an American?
Right.
Yeah. But now it's like.
Those Americans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know what? Let me say something about that. When we were away overseas, I can see why people say that about us.
But we were at Taiwan or Thailand?
When I left my homeland. So we took the trip, we took the cruise, Barcelona, France, and Italy, and Spain, France, Italy. And, each country that we went to, Americans acted out. Like, I could just visually see people doing things that's like, no wonder they don't want us
bringing
over
embarrassment.
Here. Yes, no wonder they don't want us over here because we don't know how to act. Like we were getting on the bus to board to go to the airport, and you had to stand in line and you had to have your paperwork. And this man just walks up and say, hey, is this the bus for, the El Plano to go to the El Airport?
No,
yes, he did. And I was standing behind him like, oh, my God. Did you really say that?
Well, can you tell me at least, was he drunk?
No. Well, if he was, it was 7:00 in the morning. So, no, I do not think he was drunk. But, we saw instances of that everywhere we went. Like, this is why they don't want us over here. He was like, is this the bus for the L plane? Or the airport, L airport? And I was just like, I was behind him like, oh my God, did you really say that? So, just stuff like people being in a restaurant and not knowing how to act. Like you
Right.
can see things like that. It's like, that's not how. You don't go to someone else's country and act like you don't have any stuff. That's like going to somebody's house and not using manners or something like that.
No, what is funny though is when you go to other people's country and expect the same laws that we have here.
Exactly.
I demand to see a lawyer right now. Well, this is not the U.S.
Exactly. Like, what?
Nikki.
And I was just like, what she thinks she is? I was watching that thinking, does she really think who is she?
I have rights.
No.
In the U.S.
Right.
Sometimes.
I'm like, you are the outsider here. So
That's hilarious, though.
We need to stop acting like, Karens every time we go somewhere. Like, even like all the guys say, at least, learn how to say thank you and please, and like learn some of the customs before you go somewhere. Like, just don't go places and act like you don't have any sense.
I'm gonna tell. I saw it when I was in the Navy too.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So funny story. Like, we would always go to places overseas, and they would go over the loudspeaker. We called I forgot what it's called, but it's the loudspeaker throughout the ship, and they would say these are the places that are off limits.
Oh, wow.
Right, because obviously there are problems. They don't like American, whatever it was. Right. And then we pull in there, and so when they're telling us, everybody's writing stuff down. Right, don't go to the gut. That's what they call it. Don't go to such and such, whatever. So those are the places that we was going to go. Right? So we go there, and it didn't matter where, and we would have a blast.
Right.
All whatever. And then you see some officers up there hanging out too. Isn't this where you told us not to go?
Right.
But then you realize that a lot of problems was because in the past, or even during our little mission, whatever, that some of the Americans would go in there and get drunk and thought they owned the place.
Right.
And then, wanted to fight and, basically be
Show
disrespectful.
up.
So, and to them, I guess it says they don't like Americans. No,
Right.
they don't like buttholes.
Right.
That think they own the place and get
Right.
drunk and want to fight people.
Right.
Like they, So, but, we need to, Americans, we need to work on our image. We need to work on our relationships with other countries.
Yes.
And I know we don't have a control over how we play fair, but call your congressman. Those are the people who are getting paid by people here to run and to be influenced by those things. So call your congressman. Call all of them, and I don't say protest, but
Let your voice be heard.
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. I gotta tone down my hostility vocabulary.
I think that's what I'm here for. I think I am the Switzerland of the group, and I can rein you in a little bit, because you and Polonius will go at it.
Yeah,
you go at it.
I was talking to a young lady today. This was on the internet, and I was just talking about how I like to see things. Like, if I was to go to another country, this is what I would do, and then this is how it was done, and I thought that was unfair, and this is, and Palestine came up.
Oh boy.
And what are you going to say? What are you going to say?
I'm not saying anything.
You can't defend it, whatever.
Anything.
But yeah, we definitely have to, stop looking at everything like I'm an American and we're better than everybody else.
Right.
Because right now our place in the world is really, really crumbling. It's really crumbling, and it won't take long before, those people that we, depend on will look at us like, you know what, you're a liability.
Right.
Right. So
you always over here doing something, asking for something. Yeah.
And I like to travel.
Right.
I know some of you like to travel.
Yeah.
Speaking of travel, where you want to go?
I think my husband and I are planning to do that London Paris trip So
you want to go in the tunnel?
what? Yes.
Tunnel under the.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's what you do. You do 3 days in Paris, and then you take the train to London. So yeah, that's the next thing we're gonna do. Yeah, I had got a few places that I would love to go, but I just want us to go places and not act up.
What's your motivation when you go to these places? All right, no, not your motivate. What is when you choose a place? Usually,
Why do I choose it?
Yeah, like
Okay.
what's your thing that you look for?
Food.
That's number one on mine.
Big Back University. Food, culture, the way people live. Like every time I go someplace, even if I go someplace here, I want to go where the people, the everyday, hardworking people live. I want to see where they live. I want to eat what they eat. I want to see how they live. And most of the times when I go places, I'll ask, when we went to Miami, it's me and two my other girlfriends, we went to Miami, and I was like, hey, I want to go eat where, everybody else, the working people eat. He was like, you don't go there. You stay right here on this trip. You do not go there. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like you really see
some places,
a place.
Some places you gotta be from there.
I listened to him.
Yeah.
I didn't go.
Yeah.
I listened to him. But I don't think you really get to see a place until you really see how the people live. So, but my motivation for places is the culture, the food, the atmosphere. I just like to see how different people live.
Well, I don't want to see how different people live. Right? I want to go to the places where I'm going to say I can take pictures and video and say, "Oh, look, I've been here." Nah, nah, nah. I'm not trying to fight nobody. I'm not trying to be but you go to some of these places where they live, it's
that
like,
is true.
They could tell you're not from here.
Oh, absolutely.
They say what?
Absolutely.
They could pick you out.
Right.
From being from Spain or Thailand.
I'm gonna fight you.
Cuba.
I told you. I got on the bus and a woman asked me where I was from, and I was just like, and she was like, "Oh, I just thought you was from someplace else."
She was all ready to say, "You lie."
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, you're a mess.
You one of them Portuguese.
She definitely did not expect me to say the United States.
Well, you kind of look like a woman I met when I was in Portugal. Her name was Etta. But she got like the same features or whatever, except she had the accent. But actually, she was originally her people was from Angola. Okay. But she was over there. But yeah.
And that's the thing, like when you go places, and you know what, Americans, I'm going to tell y'all, we are so ignorant. Most people from other places had at least 2 or 3 languages.
Right.
We are the only ones that go places and just like refuse to even make an attempt to speak somebody else's language.
But to look down on them because they don't speak English. Right. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's like we are so ignorant when it comes to certain things like that.
So they met, some of my shipmates met some people from black girls from France. And I guess they was on a bus or something along those lines going from whatever. No, I'm saying they was from France, but we might have been in the Netherlands or something along those lines. But they were arrogant.
The girls were? Or
they were arrogant. And then they had speaking of what you just said, they had the nerve to say something like they don't even speak more than one language. They just speak English, But it was like, all right, so French people, most of the French people that I've met, no, I'm gonna say that I've heard about, the complaints where they were arrogant, and I was like, well, that's kind of how we are too,
right?
It's like, maybe that's how I'm like, yeah. But what I'll always try to learn something about the language or whatever, even if it's hello.
Right. Hello, goodbye, thank you.
Yes.
Please, something. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta try.
Then I know you taught me what Anyang hasayo.
You get on my nerves.
Anyang hasayo.
Stop it. People are gonna think we're making fun of people, and we are not.
No, that's actual.
He's making fun of me.
Fun of you.
He's making fun of me. He's not making fun of other people.
No, so that's actually I got the lady who worked in a beauty supply store, Korean owned. I talk to everybody
she would talk to anybody.
She taught me that, and obviously I couldn't get it right, so she wrote it down on a piece of paper. and wrote it phonetically.
Oh,
you know,
wow. So
yeah.
you could say it.
Yeah, and I said
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, I would go through all the businesses there, and I said, you know what? When I come back, I'm gonna learn something from about your language.
That's
so
kind of cool.
You know,
so what does it mean?
Hello. That big old thing was like hello. I was like, are you kidding me? Hello.
Oh
So,
my gosh,
yeah,
that is too
yeah.
funny. That is too funny. Yeah. So I saw this in light of Gay Pride Month.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this story and I said I was gonna read this because yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me question. Why this is June?
This is June.
So is there any particular reason why they chose?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sure that probably is. Or was that Stonewall? Did Stonewall happen in June?
Who?
Stonewall was a big riot. I think it was a bar that the police raided and a lot of people got killed.
Like when?
In the 60s, something
really?
like that. Yeah, the Stonewall
That's worth
riots.
a look.
Stonewall riots. I think
Stonewall
that's
riots.
So I'm not sure why they picked June.
But I've never heard of that.
Well, I know a lot of gay people.
Well, but you know what?
Say.
And it goes back to, again, like we talk about what's the marginalized people.
Yes.
We don't want to learn. I'm gonna say we. The
general
system.
People. Yeah.
The controllers are trying to not let that information out.
Right.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, that type of deal.
Right. I mean, I know adult people right now that didn't know anything about the Tulsa riots. Like, they didn't know it, had never heard that before.
I didn't know until I was an adult.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. You're right. I did not know until I was adult. I think I just lost my story.
I'm sorry.
Actually, what it was a 12-year-old middle schooler wore a T-shirt in school that says there are only two genders. I think some of the parents got upset, and it ended up in court somehow. The school said that he couldn't wear the shirt because he was being offensive to LGBTQ plus.
Okay.
And he couldn't wear the shirt.
So the conservatives' heads were about to explode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's in court, and I think it's Massachusetts, and I think they held up his right to wear the shirt.
Okay.
Which I kind of think is fair.
I agree with it.
Because it's, we are in the United States, and everybody tries not to offend people, but they do it every day, all day anyway. I think he has the right to wear his shirt, but I also think that a LGBTQ person has a right to wear a shirt. I'm here, I'm queer,
right?
Like or whatever the
right.
shirt says. So you can't have it both ways. Like
right.
if you allow him to wear his shirt, then anybody else should be able to wear what they need to wear. Now, I guess there are some
things are going to be outright.
Really.
Some things are going to be outright offensive, though. Like,
true, like
like
people having sex on a shirt.
I don't like niggas.
Okay, but the shirt he didn't say I hate LGBTQ.
No, I'm saying if somebody came in with something like that,
right?
Yeah.
So some things are going to be banned,
right?
Okay, I get that. But I think the issue was that he was in school and he was wearing it on a school property. So
I don't think that matters unless they you know what the solution to that, when uniforms.
Yeah.
But I don't, just because you're on a school property and somebody says there's only two genders.
Right.
I mean, that's they're making us, and I don't think they should be. No, I'm gonna say that. Let me change that. I was going to say, I don't think kids should be coming with the whole political or whatever, but they should. That was the issue.
That's why I asked you. I was like, at 12, did you have, because they said, he should be able to express his political views. And I'm like, he's 12.
What political views you have? You have the ones that your
parents tell you.
Exactly. But one of the things, though, in this country, all the big revolutions or, movements have started with the young people.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And that's where things are going to, start and change things. So I do agree with that person's right to do that. But as a parent, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should.
You should, yes.
Right? So
yes.
If parents, if my kid was like that and it was their idea and they could back it up or they can articulate why they feel certain things or where they came from, let's have this talk.
Right.
And if you still want to wear that T-shirt, that's fine.
Right.
you just ain't gonna live in my house. So, but no, I mean, I do see that, you know, it's going to court because you can't tell some kid not to wear something. It's everything. Anything could be offensive to somebody.
To somebody,
you know.
Right.
So they gotta. That's the problem. Everybody wants to be too far left, too far right, and that doesn't leave anything in between.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. But going back to Stonewall. Now, let me ask you something. So, what do you think if you was a judge? What would you rule on that particular case?
Yeah, I think I would allow him to wear his shirt.
Okay.
But like I said, I would allow a LGBTQ plus person to wear anything that they felt like that they wanted to make a statement about.
Right. So,
but like you said, it's going to be a fine line.
So, have you heard of anything like a school saying that they couldn't wear the LGBTQIA plus?
I have not, but that doesn't mean it's not happening.
Right.
I just haven't heard it. Yeah, I think we have to be fair, and I think sometimes that's just because you don't believe that that's right.
Right.
You know, you could wear a shirt that says the world is flat.
Right.
Are you going to be banned because I think the world is not flat?
But you're going to be pointed out as a dummy. So
it's just an opinion. That doesn't necessarily make you a dummy.
Right. But
it's just an opinion.
And you know what? That's another thing too. And you do open yourself up to scrutiny from your classmates and stuff like that. And you know, people can be really, really cruel.
Especially kids in middle school.
Yes.
Especially kids in middle school.
They want to be grown, but they have the maturity level of an elementary school person.
Because that's where they are.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But Stonewall, because I was curious about that. So I like to, learn new things. Stonewall riots, or the uprising, began in the early hours of June 20th, 1969.
I told you it was in the 60s.
I wasn't even born. In New York City, police raided the Stonewall Inn, a gay club located in Greenwich Village, Greenwich. Is it Green?
It's Greenwich.
Okay, it says Greenwich. And the raid sparked a riot among bar patrons and neighborhood residents as police roughly hauled employees. They got the employees too?
Yeah, well, it was the 60s.
Employees and patriots out of the bar, leading to 6 days of protests and violent clashes with law enforcement outside the bar. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that started the gay rights movement.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
I would like to know did they have a rule that says you couldn't be gay or
probably,
or they considered it like
probably. I mean, they were hiding in 69. Gay people were hiding. They weren't out and proud like they are now. You know. Yeah. They were hiding. They're still hiding. Yeah. There are still people who are hiding.
Now, kind of related to this, in other countries, this is what I don't like. Let them handle their own country, even if I don't agree with it. If you have a country like I think it was Uganda or Kenya, one of them that maybe in Ghana too, that their legislature decided to put a law in that outlawed homosexuality. You know, you can't outlaw homosexuality because you are what you are.
Right.
But they can outlaw places that encourage it or provide places to do whatever. If that's how they want to do it, that's how they want to do it. But my thing is, this is another reason why they don't like us there, because the world watches it and says, you know what? Why are you coming over here to tell us what we should be doing? You worry about what you should be doing.
Getting your backyard straight.
Yeah. So, I think overall humans just need to respect each other. If it's not hurting you, take some time to even just try to understand it.
Right.
Right. And
I just don't understand, like, why are we such in an uproar about things that happen in the privacy of other people's homes?
Right.
Like, I don't know why, we go crazy about that. Like, that's not my business. It is not my business.
All right. So the gay rights thing. No. All right. So
the gay rights thing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, let's say gay marriage, right? So for years, I don't say for years because I didn't have an opinion on it for years, but my earlier years,
okay,
I was totally against it, right? So I'm thinking like, you know what? It's marriage. So why don't they just, if they want to do that, why don't they just call it a civil union? Why do you have to use the term that's used for this, and this, whatever, right? And I was against it. I was like, no, that's not right. It's just not right. So later on, I transitions a little bit to like, that's is kind of, you hear the stories,
Right.
that this couple's been together for 20, 30 years, and then somebody's in the hospital or whatever, and they don't have the right to go see him, and this has really been your
that's
number
your
one
your life partner. Yeah.
So when I was listening to stuff like that, I was like, okay, maybe they should. And then then I was like, I was still on the verge of I was on the fence.
On the fence, yeah.
And then obviously I got married, and then I was like, man, why should gay people be free of the misery of marriage?
Oh my I thought you was coming with some serious point. You was going so well. You just rode that car right off the road.
No, but this is actually my thinking though. At the time. I'm serious. I was like, wait a minute. You could be gay and date somebody forever, and then since you can't get married, they can't pressure you into getting married. You could just go your own way. I'm like, no, they need to be miserable too. So,
I don't like you.
So I'm like, I'm for. Let them have it. Let them have it. They should have the same things that let's be equal.
You are so crazy. You are so crazy.
But if you get into the whole history of marriage, really, marriage was really everybody was thinking about love. Blah blah blah.
No, it was a bargaining tool.
It was. That's exactly what it is. So I was listening to that audiobooks for Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings. Right? Okay. And that's what they were talking about. How what was his name? The Lannisters. Patriarch, Tywin Lannister was marrying off people. He was like, Cersei, you're gonna marry such and such, and what's the dwarf, the imp.
Oh, I don't know his name. It's been so long.
Tyrion.
Since I watched that show.
You're gonna marry Sansa Stark because blah 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 blah. Right. So it had nothing to do with. It was like
it was about families coming together and about how much power they can have as a family. You got this farm over here with this amount of land. I'm gonna give you my daughter, but I want to be able to have some of them goats you got over there. Kind of thing. It really wasn't about love.
And then we're kin.
Right. Yeah.
So now we all fight together. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. We are all the House of Snow or whatever it is. Right. I've been watching. I'm a Bridgerton fan, and I'm obsessed with Bridgerton. And the season 3 started, so I decided to go back and watch the other 2 seasons. And basically, it wasn't a love match. Like, you got somebody who was sensible or came from money,
a good family,
right? And they went down a list. Like, okay, she reads, which is I'm still like blown away by that. She reads, she plays the piano, she can have a semi-articulate conversation. She looks like she'll give me a certain amount of children. This is a match.
That was big too.
Right. This is a match. So yeah, it wasn't about love. But you
think we should go back to that?
Go away.
I'm just saying, look, listen.
No.
If you went back to that, you had less divorces. You would have
they would just kill each other.
Families staying. No, most of them back then they didn't kill each other. They
That's
learned.
True. They stayed together. And one of the things was the matriarch was trying to tell the daughter, like, love will come. Right. Maybe, love will come, but you choose to be in love. Because she was just like, I'm not doing this. I don't want to be bothered with this. I can't believe you're making me. Because really, the girls are paraded around so the guys can pick, which one they like.
Visually first.
Right.
So, but remember, we did that on that podcast. We said it was like 4%. No, was it 1% or 4%? The people who were in arranged marriages, had the low. It was like I know it was under 4%.
That's so crazy.
Divorce.
To me. That's so crazy.
Right. So, because you know what, they looked at all the things that were important.
Right.
And then the other stuff comes later.
Right.
So
no, I think, if you want to marry your partner, have at it. Like.
So, how many of you out there would sign the petition to go back to arranged marriages?
You're not getting my signature, so don't even look over here. No, you are not arranging my marriage.
Or how about this? Let's do a compromise. How about maybe marriages should be like a driver's license?
What do you mean?
You get married, you get your permit or your license or whatever, and then after 4 or 5 years, it expires.
You decide if you want to stay.
Exactly. You could renew your marriage license. If you don't renew it, you go about your business
and split your property. What you gonna do?
No. You would have an agreement as part of that marriage when you sign up all your paperwork. Mm-hmm. You put all that stuff in there. So that's it. It expires.
You just walk away.
Yep. And in the case of kids, then that they can handle that, but still you're done.
Oh my gosh.
But I think that should.
Are you saying this from a divorced male perspective?
I think I'm saying it from a logical perspective because people go through stuff, and there's a lot of people that stay in marriages that are miserable.
True.
There's a lot of people that stay in marriage because they can't afford.
True.
Right. So if it expires, you don't have to do. Sorry, lawyers, but you don't have to pay out the yin yang for lawyers. You know what I mean? It frees up the courts. The courts can, use that time to fight out other things.
You got it all planned out.
Yeah, and while we at it, mind your business. Stay out of marriages. If somebody wants to marry multiple wives, then they should be able to do it. Here we
go. Here we go.
Now, if you want to ban something, ban multiple husbands.
Oh no! Listen to you, but multiple wives is okay, just not multiple husbands.
Because it is based on culture and history and all other type stuff.
I'm just not fooling with you with that one. But happy Pride Month.
Okay.
So I want to say that, and
what do you do for Pride Month?
I used to go to Pride Parade and then the nightclub after when I was young and fun.
Did you get hit on?
Yes. Yes. But that can happen in a grocery store. So
yeah, that's true.
That doesn't bother me.
But it's kind of like an expectation because
the parade is everything. It was just so much fun. It was everything. It was everything.
I've seen it on video. I think the biggest ones is in New York. Or San Francisco maybe. Okay.
One of them. They all have really big pride parades, and it's just everything. It's just a fun time to be had. And just
my thing is this: why parade your sexuality out? And I understand the part about you want equality and you want to come from out of the darkness, right? And be able to feel free
and be who you
are. Mm-hmm. I understand all that, but I guess maybe we should have a balance. I guess some people go overboard with it, and I don't know.
It's people that go overboard who aren't gay. Let's put it out there. Yeah. It is people who go overboard who, I think, and I don't know why this is. I have always been an ally. I don't know why. I think it comes from my mother. She accepted everybody. She never would say, oh my God. She wasn't too good with her language. She would use the F word. She wasn't too good with her language, but she, just respected everybody.
Well, this is mom.
My mother.
Okay.
Yeah. And, people are people. Doesn't matter who they love. You treat them a certain way. And she had friends from different cultures, white friends, black friends. She did not care.
Right.
If you were good to her, she was good to you. But she would tell you if she didn't like you. That was the other thing, too. She would put it out there. So I guess that's maybe why I've always been an ally, because that's how she taught us to be. Now, although my sister is different. Me and my sister had a whole knockout, drag 'em out. Oh, no, she is not. We had a whole knockout, drag 'em out fight about, you choosing to love this person. And I was just like, no. And people are just like, they choose to be gay, and I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, that no. Thing I don't agree with either.
Yeah, no, you do.
You know what made me think about that though? Two things. Even when you were younger, you could tell.
Yes.
Like before you even knew
what gay was.
Yeah, you could tell. That was one. And then like even back then, when you talk about 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. The hell that they caught, right? Some people caught, not everybody, right. But who would choose to do that?
Right?
Who would say, "Well, I'm gonna be this so I can go through all this stuff. Right. I can go through people chastising me, chasing me, being violent with me,
being killed, beating me up.
Who would do that?
Right?
Like with So
Right.
that kind of, that the logic kicked in. It's like, no, A plus B equals C, Yeah. So I would say I agree with you on that, but I can't say that I'm an ally.
Okay.
Because mine is that I think people should be treated with respect, period. Regardless of who you are. Well, no, let me take that back too.
Oh no.
I take a lot of stuff back.
Do it. Don't do it.
So I'm saying, like, some people you earn that disrespect, right?
I thought you was gonna say you earn a respect.
No, you should give everybody mutual respect. And I'm talking about, you don't have to, idolize them and put them up on a pedestal, but hey, like you said, stay out of somebody's personal. If you're not hurting anybody, mind your business. But you should give everybody their respect until they say or do something to snatch it back.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So reason why I say I'm not an ally, because one, I don't know what the mission is to be an ally. So that's one. If you say equal rights, everybody should have equal rights. But what are the rights are they asking for that they say they're not equal to?
I think the marriage was one. Marriage was a big one.
Okay, marriage equality. Okay.
Yeah, marriage equality was a big one. Right now it's a transgender fight. They're fighting, they should be able to be who they are,
Okay. But nobody's saying that they can't be.
No, but I think part of it is open up the gate. Like for African Americans, we're just saying, like, I should be able to get the job based on who I am and my abilities, and not, be excluded because I'm black,
right? Or
be excluded because I'm gay,
right?
Or be excluded because I'm trans. Okay. So the mission is, I want to be treated like everybody else, and unfortunately, some of the bad comes with that treatment too. Right. So the mission is, I want to be respected, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, and I've said that before, and that's the mission, I think. And if you're out there and you are in that category, LGBTQ plus, please call in and let us know and make sure I'm saying it right. Yes. And doing the right thing.
410-860-2716.
Right. Please
or
let 2717.
Me know I don't remember.
Why do you do that?
Email us.
But yeah, I think, just in general, people want to be able to live their lives without,
now here's
being
what
persecuted.
Here's what I don't agree. If this is part of the mission, I don't agree with this. So that's why I say I can't be an ally. But I'm not for changing birth certificates. Yeah,
we did have that discussion.
Yeah. And it's not because I'm trying to keep people from being who they want to be or whatever. But it's just one that's not. I don't think it's fair to other people. I can think of many scenarios where that wouldn't be fair. Secondly, the most important one, their historical records. You don't change that. Right. It is what it is. Right. If you don't like it, that's tough. It is what it is. But that and actually that goes along. We're talking about the trans people, where you get chastised because you got this big burly dude and he wants to be called Miss. That takes a lot. That's a programming that some people have to reject, and it's kind of like you know what? Just because you want to do it or you like it, whatever. Why do you live your life? Why do I have to conform to what you want? And it can get extreme. This is a problem. It gets extreme because then we talked about the cat. I identify as a cat, or I identify as a table. I don't care, but I don't have to see you as a table.
So when you meet somebody and they say, "Hey, my name is William, but you could call me Bill." Okay. You don't have a problem with that?
Oh, no, because Bill is short for William.
Okay, so I'm just saying he's asking you to call, or all of my son's friends have some, I'm Big G. Call me Big G. We don't have a problem with that.
Well, sometimes I would. I'm not calling no grown man Big Sugar. So, nah.
I'm just.
What's your last name? Smith?
I'm just saying that people go along in life and ask you to call them something else. Right. That's all I'm saying.
I like some of them I don't have a problem with. It's just that overall you can't force somebody to, just because you want to identify such. I don't have no problem with you identifying as whatever, but you can't force other people to see you as that. You can't force. Going to what you said, if somebody wants to call you Brenda, right? and obviously you're a dude, I could call you Brenda.
Right.
I can call you Tracy, Stacy, whatever. That's not a problem. But I'm not going to refer to you as they. And my reasoning for that is they is plural. You're a single person. You know, that's I'm not doing that.
Okay.
You know, I can go with the he or she. If you want to be classified as a she, you know, but you got a pole instead of a hole.
No, you did not say
I'm just
that.
saying, I can get with that. I'll call you Ultraman. I don't care, whatever you want to be called.
So that's why I don't understand if you can call him Ultraman, but you can't call him they. Like I don't understand that.
Because Ultraman is still one person. I don't have to. Why do we got to change the whole English language or the whole English structure? You know. You know what? I want you to call me Was.
I'll call you Was. Hey, if that's who you want to be, that's what I'm gonna call you.
Can you refer to me as Was?
I sure can.
Oh,
Can.
there's a limit to certain things, and you know, I can go with the program up to a certain point. You know, that's just me. So I guess because I don't go the full Monty, I can't be an ally. Maybe.
I think you're an ally in saying that you're for gay marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want people to be respected. Mm-hmm. All of those things are things that, you know, the gay community wants, the LGBTQ community wants. They want to be respected. They want to be able to have laws that we have, you know, and they don't want to hide themselves anymore. People been hiding, and like I said, they are still hiding. They want
come on out.
Killed.
Everybody, come on out.
I'm gonna fight you so hard one of these days.
Well, he said they want to hide. I mean, come on out. I don't know why you need to put your sexuality or wear your sexuality on your sleeve, but if you want to come out and act like, you know, even in what was it, Key West? We went to Key West and we saw guys, you know, holding hands and doing. I'm like, it was obvious, right? In their pastel colors. So because of Florida. Okay. But it's kind of like it kind of fit the whole thing. But you know, when we was walking down the street, it was like somebody said, "Y'all know something? Y'all know something different?" It's like, oh snap! So it's not.
So what are you saying? They can't walk down the street and hold hands?
No, I'm saying do what you need to do. Right. You gotta expect that some things are gonna come with that, because it's not
okay.
You know, normal. You
that.
might get the stare. You might get the, you know, the snicker. Like if I see somebody, it's funny to me. You know, I'm not going to go, you know, disrespect you and say, ha ha, and point fingers, all that type of stuff. But you might get a chuckle. You might.
People just don't want to feel uncomfortable.
Oh,
in their lives.
you see a guy on the main road up there. He got this big old cowboy hat on, some boots, and some tighty whities.
I don't know what it is about me, but it always happens wherever I go. It doesn't matter. My husband and I were in Las Vegas, just walking, minding our business. And I'm looking around, and like you said, like something's going on, you know, something's going on. So I think it was gay bikers.
Okay.
Motorcycle. 2 big burly guys with just the vest, no shirt, cowboy boots, Daisy Duke shorts.
And they had chaps.
No chaps. Why are you being ridiculous? Just kind of stop us and say, hey, can you take my picture? Everywhere I go.
Really?
Never fails. Everywhere I go. So maybe I was an ally before I knew what that meant, but it doesn't matter where I am. I will be found.
Now, I'm going to tell you.
And talk to.
I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to disrespect them. But I might get a laugh. I'm going to tell you. Look, this is how that's how I feel. You can't control how you feel. And Bill Burr made something about that too, because I like Bill Burr because
he's hilarious. He is hilarious.
But he was talking about he was in a diner and he was eating a sandwich or whatever, and then he sees this big guy, whatever, and he kissed another big guy, and he kind of, you know, had this look on his face like, ugh, you know, that type of deal. I was like, well, you know, you can't. That's how you feel. It wasn't like he, you know, he saw him and said he wanted, you know, them to die or anything like that. It was just that's the impression he got, you know. But that's going to happen.
And, you know, as an African American, you can go places right now today where, you know, you're going to look around and people are going to look at you and you're going to look at them, and it's just going to be like,
And I can get it.
And be uncomfortable.
You know what? And it's funny enough. That's when I first came up here. That happened to me. Over on the east side. Went to a supermarket, whatever, and guess what I did?
Left.
I left that cart.
Yep.
Right there in this. Oh, it's okay,
Yep.
you know. But the thing is, I can expect that, and as long as you don't, you know, if you want to look at me and give me the stares, whatever, I don't care. I'll go pay for my stuff, whatever, or I might leave.
Right.
But you're not going to come up to me and disrespect me. You're not going to call me out my name. You're not going to do, and that's fine.
That's all they're asking for.
That's fine.
That's all they're asking for. You know,
Yeah.
don't, you know, just because I'm walking down the street looking a certain way, you don't get to be like, hey, F word.
Right.
Or, you know, you don't belong here or whatever.
Oh, F word.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the word.
Yeah, I
You
couldn't
know
remember.
what that
I
is.
didn't know
You
what
had
you
to think
were
about
talking
it.
F word. Okay.
Yeah, so there's that. There's that. But I don't even know how we got on this. Well, I said it was Happy Gay Pride Month. Yeah,
right.
Happy Gay Pride Month.
Oh, since we on the topic of Pride Month, that's what's going to be the main topic.
Okay,
so,
that works for me.
It would be good though if we had somebody who was part of
the community to come on.
Maybe you might be part of
Maybe
Pride.
What the who?
Maybe you might be part of the Pride.
Oh Jesus!
Listen, I want you to know, you and I are friends, and it's okay.
Stop talking to me.
I'm saying it's okay.
Stop talking to me.
Wow.
Really?
I had a friend. We were really good friends. Like he's my best friend. And then of course I went to the Navy. He went to college, I guess, whatever. And I found out. No, I didn't find. He told me that he was gay.
Right.
And I kind of, you know, from the time that we used to chat, like when he was in college, now he was talking about what the professor said, this and that, whatever. And I'm like, that sounds gay.
Oh,
you know,
jeez.
I was telling him on the phone, I was like, that sounds gay. I don't sound right, you know. But, you know, after, you know, some time or whatever, he had told me, because he had got mad at one time. We went down the street. No, I'm sorry. I was telling him about an incident where I was with my sister, I think it was, and we went down the street, and it was an area where apparently that's where, you know, the gay men hang out. And I was like, I'm not going over there. I'm going on the other side of the street. And she was like, come on, let's go. I'm like, right. And then I actually recognized some of the guys from high school.
Okay.
So I was like, nah, I don't think about it, because I don't want to stop and get up, you know, whatever. So I was telling him about that. And then he was getting mad about it, you know, because I don't know, I might have used even some disparaging remarks about it or whatever. And then I asked him, I said, what are you, gay or something? You know, but you know, guys, that's how guys, even if it's not like homosexual, they'll say gay was that word you say, you know, oh, that's gay.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And he got across he left. He got mad. I was like, all right. He used to have these little temper tantrums, basically, the teen temper tantrums. And, you know, he walked off, and I said, all right, well, I'm gonna go this way, you know, whatever. I'm not following your little whatever. And then he got way across the parking lot or this little field, and he was like, I am. And I'm like, you are what?
Oh God.
Right. So I'm like, I went home. I didn't think nothing of it.
Wow.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about? So the next day, well, maybe not the next day, but it had to be the next day. The next day he called me on the phone, and we talked about it, and he was giving me the full rundown. Okay. And I was like, what? And I'm coming up with all types of, you know, examples of why he's not. You know.
So you gonna tell him what he is?
I'm like, because I knew him. Like, I know he had a girlfriend. God. We used to talk about all this stuff, and I knew we used to go. You know, we gonna pick up girls, and he used to get mad when certain girls liked me, and he liked the girl, and this and that. Whatever. So it was kind of like, well, where did all this come from? Right. So he was like, but you know, I'm the same person. We still like the same sports, this and that, whatever. And it said it was the same. And I said, well, that's cool. We can, you know, that's fine then, but it's never going to be the same. You know, I told him, I said, it's never going to be the same.
Wow.
You know, we could talk about sport, how we used to do and all that type of stuff, but it's not going to be the same, you know. And because he was gay and I'm not.
So
So in my mind,
Okay.
I might.
And he was not hitting on you.
No, let me tell you. So when all that happened, you start flashbacking like it was a movie.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh, remember that? I'm not saying it to him. I'm saying it to myself.
Right.
Damn, remember that time when he was talking about he was jealous because I had the 6-pack, whatever. Because we was lifting weights, I'm like, And I'm thinking, you start thinking of stuff. So I was like, and it's still, even the whole, the stories that he was telling me, I was like, no, I can't. I don't like that lifestyle. It's kind of, repulsive to me, So now if it was a female and she said, whatever, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That, whatever. But it was just repulsive to me. I can't control that. That's not something I would want to see. I don't want to hear about because, I don't want to hear those stories. Okay. If that's your private life, then that's fine, whatever. But anyway, so fast forward later on, my opinion started to change. I said, you know what? That was wrong. Mm-hmm. That was wrong. And you know how we talked about the book Salem's Lot?
Yes.
That's how I felt. It was like, I don't know if you remember that part where the guy's friend scratched on the window.
Yes.
That's how I felt. Yes. I felt like my friend got turned into the vampire. So
it was scratching at your window.
Yeah. So, but over time you become more aware. You start learning. That changed. Right. So whatever. I just take people for what they are. And I like even the people that I knew were gay back in high school or this person that person. I didn't have any hostility toward them.
Right.
I didn't even care.
And you shouldn't.
Right. So it's just,
really should.
Right. And I guess you do come full circle.
Yes. Well,
hopefully,
right?
Hopefully
you do come full circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
But when I look back at it, I felt really, really bad about it because I was like, man, we were really good friends, and then I started, this, cue the little, like a movie,
the memory melt.
Yeah. So you start looking back at different scenarios. Like I know this one guy, he was in the Navy, and this was before we actually got assigned to our permanent duty stations, but it was in school, whatever. You could tell.
Right.
In the military then, you couldn't be.
Not at all. Put you out. Better not come out and say anything.
It is no way he was going to tell anybody that he was not at all. I mean, if that was the case, how did he even get through the recruiting process? Like, he was that. So, and I remember people knew, and I don't know specifically. I don't remember what they did to him, but I know they didn't treat him right.
Right.
And I really felt bad about that. It's like, because, he wasn't a friend of mine or anything like that, but
he's a human being. Who deserves to be treated.
And I thought about that. It's like, he went through hell.
Right.
And I was like, maybe I should have said something or whatever, but I just ignored it. Yeah. Like, because it was kind of like almost normal. Like even myself, if I did something that they wanted to, they said it was screwy or whatever, I would get it.
Right. Right. Because
out of play,
people.
Yeah. Because everybody got teased for something. Know. But then I started going back all the different places. I was like, dang, you know what? It had to be born into them because nobody would want to go through that. Right. So, nobody, it happens.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody would want to start their life like that.
And then I'm going to tell you another one that kind of changed me too. That kind of confirmed my, treat everybody equally. And they're, did you see, you did, because I think we talk about it. Spartacus.
Yes. They didn't care. They did not care.
But some of the baddest dudes, I was like, oh, he was cool. And I found out, I was like, oh, all right, okay, they're cool, whatever.
Yeah, they didn't care.
Go to battle.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And even, what was it was something, it was a series that I was watching. Oh my God, it was way back in the day, but they were in Japan. And they brought him what did they call, concubine? Is that a okay. And he was just like, no. And she was like, oh, well, would you prefer a boy? Like it was nothing.
Right.
Like, we can bring you somebody, So all cultures have it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, you know, it's a lot of people be like, we don't have any gay people in Jamaica. We don't have any gay people in Africa.
Yes,
it's
you
just
do.
like, yeah, you do. You do. So stop it. You know, stop with that. So yeah, that's a mess. So
yeah. So now the reverse on that, I can see the other side where people say, well, you know what? We don't need to be, you know, broadcasted. We don't need it broadcasted. We don't need it pushed into our, you know, our family. We don't need to be pushed. All right. I'll give you a good example. And maybe it's a bad example. I don't know. But all right, I was watching, I read Anne Rice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Interview with
yeah.
All right, so
yeah, I just watched that this weekend.
The
movie, yeah, I just watched that this weekend.
You know they have a series.
Yes.
All right, so I said, "Oh, Anne Rice Interview with a Vampire."
Yes.
The series. I was like, "Oh," and it was a black dude too. I was like, "Oh, cool."
Yes.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I started watching. And I'm like, I like this dude. He's, you know, whatever. So they got to a point where the Lestat and him got into it. Whatever. Like, automatically, I was like, let me fast forward this part. Then I thought about it. I was like, you know, in the book, they don't never say. They kind of imply it, right?
It's heavily implied.
Right, because, you know, vampires didn't have sex.
Right.
So it really wouldn't, whether you're a boy or girl, really didn't matter. They did in the book? I don't think they did in the book.
Lestat and, oh my God, what was the other person's name? What was his?
Louis
did not
have
sex.
But I thought when they had the other vampires that was like that, they was flamboyant and whatever, but they never had, you know,
they had
sex.
Lestat had sex with women and men
before. I mean, after he was a vampire.
Yes.
I thought that sex was more or less the biting and the whole intimate. I'm gonna have to
think
go back
about that. True Blood, Sookie and Bill had sex all the time.
Yeah, but that's a different one. That's the only. Well, not the only one, but but anyway, so it's a good series so far.
Right.
I mean, it's a good start because that's all I got.
Yeah, because you got paid for the rest of them.
No, I had the series. I mean,
okay.
What's the other one? It's on Paramount.
AMC.
Right. So I got that free 7-day joint.
That's smart. And watch as much as you can. Oh, yes, that's smart.
I did Paramount.
I had to do that.
But some of them, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pay whatever, just for a few months,
right?
You know, just to finish the series,
right?
And
so the point. I'm sorry, we get off point so quickly.
So the point was that, you know, I looked at, you know, being forced,
right?
So all right, obviously that's part of the book. Maybe that I missed. I guess I just kind of glossed over that, but it was a good series.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see that.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, why can't you? Now I'm thinking to myself, yeah, why can't you just, you know, imply it? Why you got to get the actual, you know, the on screen, all of that type stuff? And guess who was in it? No. I'm sorry. That's another one, right? So, but that right there kind of like made me not want to watch the series because it's not the feeling. I don't want to see that. I can respect you as whatever. For me, my feeling, I don't want to see that. But I started. I watched Rocket Man with Elton John.
Oh, I love that movie.
You saw them?
Yeah.
I saw it and it was late and I stayed up late to watch it.
I love that movie.
And it was a decent movie. I didn't know it was gonna be like that, like almost like a musical sometimes.
Yeah.
But I like Elton John's music.
Right.
You know, I was playing upstairs in the bathroom. You know, Rocket Man.
Yeah, I love Rocket Man.
So the thing is, they had some scenes in there where they were, and I'm like, oh my God, come on, y'all.
Well, gay people don't want to see breeders having sex all the time.
Yeah, but come on now. So I'm gonna say it is normal. I'm gonna say normal.
So, because you're saying they not normal?
No, I'm saying a man and a woman is normal because we're built that way.
But see, that means you're implying that gay people aren't normal.
I'm not saying that gay people are not normal. I'm saying that being a man and a woman are together because that's design. That's by design. So that's normal. Things that's abnormal happen naturally in life. That happens. But obviously a man and a man were not designed to be together because they would have a penis and a vagina or you know, it would be some type of, you know.
Okay, listen, you can always turn the channel.
I want to see the movie.
You are not forced to watch anything. And I had a big old argument with my cousin, and she even one time at some point was like, I'm not even talking to you. Why are you talking to me? And basically that's what she was saying. She's like, every time I turn my TV on, it's a gay person on TV or somebody kissing, or they forcing it on our children. Watching gay people on TV is not going to make your child gay. And that was my argument. Like, right. That is not going to make your child gay. If you don't want to watch it, turn the channel.
But you know what? Even back in the day, there was gay characters on TV. Like, all right, one of my favorite Bruce Lee movies. I forgot the name of the time, but the one where he was in Italy. You don't follow Bruce Lee? Come on, man, you're peeps.
I've seen Bruce Lee movies. I could not tell you.
All right, so
Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying?
This wasn't Game of Death. Wasn't
Game of Death was the one in the yellow suit. Okay.
Yes. This was
Into the Dragon?
No, it wasn't Into the Dragon. It wasn't Game of not Game of anyway. So one of the characters, one of the bad guys of the little Chinese mafia or whatever. Well, it was actually the Italian mafia, but he had his Chinese compadres, whatever, but he was clearly gay, like clearly gay, you know. So I mean, they've been around. I don't have a problem with seeing gay people on TV. I don't have a problem. I just the whole
it's the sexuality of it.
It's the sex part. Like, you know, it was kind of like
it's only gay men for you because you don't care if gay women have sex.
Well, no.
So, I can't even. You know what? We're gonna wrap this up because we could go all night. And we will be in here all night fighting.
But no, the point what I was trying to say is that, you know, I see the other side when people say, I don't want to be, you know, I don't want that to be pushed on me. Like,
it's not being pushed on you. Turn the channel.
No, but I'm saying it's not even just that. It's like, all right, so, all right, some people they get called you're a homophobe because you take a certain position like you don't agree with, you know, or, you know, they'll have I had a whole bunch of examples that was pretty good. I just totally forgot. But anyway, the TV thing. Me personally, that's a choice I make. I fast forward through the scene, right? I can handle that part, but I can see how they would say, you know, well, you know, back in the day, we knew there was gay people on TV, but why we gotta see them, you know, going at it?
Why we gotta see straight people going at it?
That's a beautiful thing.
Okay. So, yeah, I had a point and I missed it. I lost it. So I'm just going to leave it alone.
So,
what I was going to say was we have to be careful with that because it was a time when they didn't want to see black people on TV. I don't want to see them people on my TV. Oh, listen, I was having some trouble with my Hulu, and you know, the help center sends you to the what is it? Frequently asked questions.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I'm reading down to see what my thing is. And all through the thing it was like, why are some of my commercials in Spanish? I don't want to see any commercials in Spanish. Why are these Mexican people on my TV? And it was just like a list.
That's asinine.
But it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was absolutely crazy. But
wait.
Be careful.
The frequently asked questions was that? Holy smokes!
Why is my TV in Spanish? Why are all these Mexican commercials? Why are these Mexican people on my TV? And I'm like, what?
Oh, but maybe now, giving them the benefit of the doubt, not in this climate now, but maybe do they have a Spanish Hulu?
I'm sure they do.
Maybe they got connected to that instead of the English version.
I don't know, but it was way too many for that.
Okay.
It was way too many for that. And all I'm trying to say when I'm making that point is that people it's a time when they didn't want to see us on TV. Mm-hmm. It was a time they still don't want to see Latino people on TV. So you have to be careful. It's about representation, and that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with representation. But
what you're saying
like the Good Times cartoon.
What you're saying is that they can be represented. They just can't have sex on TV. That's what you're saying.
Because some things are just, you know. No, I mean, I guess that's something I have to choose. I just don't like it because it just the you know.
And you have an option to turn the channel. You have an option to not let your children watch it, or you have an option to
fast forward it.
Have a conversation when your children see it. An honest conversation.
You can. That's
about
true.
why this is what's going on.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
So I'm just
for me, I'm just saying like certain videos that I'm gonna go back to it. I wish they would just warn me ahead of time.
I really wanted to watch that series, and after I watched like the first one or the second one, I got 2 in, and they were like, "Oh, now you got to pay," and I'm like, "I pay for enough stuff. I'm not paying for that." But it looks like a really good series.
It's like it was really well done.
Right.
And then I started watching. What's the other? About witches, something witches, Mayfair witches. She has one called me.
Okay, I've never seen that one.
But that seems, the Interview with a Vampire seems better. So, but I said,
I felt like it was really well done.
Yeah.
You know, the 2 that I saw, I felt like it was really well done and like close to the movie. And I think my obsession with Interview with the Vampire at that time was, I don't know why, I was just kind of obsessed with Brad Pitt. I still am in a way, you know. So yeah, It was a big controversy about that too, because they didn't feel like Tom Cruise was gonna be able to do Lestat.
Okay.
And I was in that group of people, because I was just like, oh, that's not in my head how I think Lestat looks.
He didn't. All right, now I think Tom Cruise is a great actor.
Right.
Like if he's in a movie, I like it.
Right.
You know, but even seeing that, he didn't sell it for me. Like it
was hard.
He didn't fit that role. Yeah,
it was hard. I felt like they probably should have switched. I felt like Brad Pitt probably should have been Lestat, and he should have been Lewis. But you know, there's that.
No, I think he would. Lewis was. I think he did a good job at Lewis, but I think they should have had somebody who fit Lestat's. You know, somebody like a metrosexual type of actor.
Physically,
right?
Yeah, he didn't physically carry it. It was just, I wasn't, I'm with you on that one.
Like Diddy.
So we have an upcoming wine and pasta social. Please buy your tickets for that. You can get them online at Hot Topics podcast.com. It is June the 29th. We will have 3 different pasta entrees, red and white wine. There will be a 4th seat at the table for the podcast. We want you to come out and join us and have a good time. Was it anything that I like? You can listen to us on any standard podcast system.
Yes, we're almost everywhere. If you go to hottopicspodcast.com, on that first page, you can actually pick your platform.
There you go.
So check us out. And I think we also have the Gwen Oak Food and Music Festival is coming up the 23rd, Saturday, Sunday. It'll be 11 to 7 at Gwen Oak Park. For those who are in the area, come on out, have a good time, and you'll see us there.
Yeah, that's a fun day. The whole family is family friendly. You know, bring the kids. Yes. It'll be something for everyone.
Even bring your pets.
I ain't bringing my crazy dog. He a psycho. Listen,
he don't like me.
I love that dog to death, but he's a psycho and he drives me nuts.
Oh, it was something else. So anybody out there who represents any demographic that wants their story told, especially now, like we have one podcast coming up called Dissecting the LGBTQIA Community.
Yes.
Because people don't know, like we were talking about, what's your mission to be an ally? I don't know. Or, we want to get your perspective on things, because this would have been a good time to, especially during Pride Month, to say, well, hey, this is who I am. This is my experiences and stuff like that. Please share with us. And that could be for any demographic. Even if you're a MAGA person, come on out. I would love to, examine or discuss how stupid you are.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm going to say it.
Don't say it.
I saw this meme where it had Eminem holding up a T-shirt. And it was talking about them, but I ain't going to say it.
Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, if you have especially if you disagree with whatever I say, and you wanna go back and forth with me, I'm open, ready. You let me know. Email us hottopicspodcast@gmail.com, and that's TOPIX. Email us if you want to yell at me or whatever because I said something that you didn't like. I'm open to hear it, and I'll argue with anybody. So
stay tuned. Listen, like, share. Also, in June, we will talk about Juneteenth. I think that's the next thing we should talk about because it's June. So, come back, listen, like, share.
Here's our one for the road.